Hello and welcome back to another 6-scale figure review with me, your host, That Mania. And today we have the second to last figure from The Flash. Weirdly enough, still don't have the titular character from the movie. Here we have, as everybody knows him, Man, or you might also know him as Batman. So this is Michael Keaton, re-portraying Batman. Not quite sure if it's the same Batman as the 89 and Batman Returns Batman. It might just be a Batman of similar make and model. Either way, it's the return of Keaton, and we'll pretend like it's the continuation of the Returns one, even though it doesn't quite feel like the same character at times. A little weird, but not. This isn't about the character. We could go down that road, but we're not going to. We're going to go down the road of looking at the figure. So here we have the box. It's got a bunch of yellow because, that's his thing. Yellow, even though they killed most of the yellow off of this suit. And we got Batman here. Box looks okay. Pretty much just that all the way around. Your normal Hot Toys words. And back to the bat. But you didn't come here to look at the box. Unless you did. Then here you go. The video is ending for you right now. But if you are here for watching the rest of the video, we're going to move on and spin him around a bunch. So here we have our Batman out of the box, and I do have to say I like this outfit a lot. It does feel kind of streamlined, a little too much for me. I did like the way his suit in Batman Returns and Batman 89 felt a bit more bigger, like he was a how am I describing this? I don't know, it just felt more. This is way more seamless. It's streamlined. There's detail lines, whereas like the hints of what was, but at the same time, feels a little bit weird, especially with the pants area. I don't know. They have like this thin pant. On the other one, it feels kind of thicker. These ones just kind of feel like weird pants almost. I don't hate this suit. I actually really enjoy it, and I love the fact that he comes with that cheeky little like grin that he has in the movie when he's playing around and doing whatever, because Michael Keaton probably just did it for the paycheck and didn't really care about the movie overall. I mean, it's, he's just kind of there most of the time. He's only progressing the story a little bit. But again, we're not getting into the character. We're getting into the character here on the spinning turntable. So, I like it. I think it looks nice. It's got a good bit of accessories. So, I guess we'll take a look at those now. So this Batman comes with a lot, but it's all stuff that you would have expected normally, and some of it I don't even believe he used in this movie, and are just reused props from the previous Batman. So to start, he's got the old man head, which looks really good. If my Vulture wasn't hidden behind everything, I would take him out, because I saw somebody put this on the Vulture, and it looks fantastic. This is a really good sculpt. It just has the same issue I have with every figure that doesn't do the new Hot Toys neck, is the very, very noticeable, like, Charlie Brown shirt line at the back of his head so that you could pop it off and do his eyeballs. But it's really noticeable when you know it's there. I guess it's noticeable no matter what, because you could just see that there's a line over his head, and it looks really ugly, but from the front you'll never notice it. If you're posing your Batman like this, with his head up, maybe. He does come with two, if I can get them to get into my fingers. Come on. I left them in the box because I didn't want to lose them. 2 extra mouth plates. There's this one that's kind of like, oh. And then there's this serious one where he's like, oh. I will keep my silly grin on him because it's so out of pocket and different for Batman, so it's fun. He's got an empty cowl, so he can hold it if you want to put the head sculpt on him. But if you don't want him to hold it and you want it displayed, it comes with this lovely display piece right here. Always fun. It just kind of sits on there. Just like that. That's exactly how it's supposed to sit. Just like that. So if you wanted to display it like that. He does come with, if you remember in the movie, he's got the splayed out cape like he does in Batman Returns. So he's got this big wired cape. It's a fun one, but I don't see you fitting this on your shelf anytime soon because it's just going to take up all the space in front of everybody, which will look silly. I guess if you wanted to, you could fly him around outside and pretend he's a real bat. That might work for you if you're so inclined. I did also hear that bats are attracted to rocks, so if you throw one up in the air, he might go after that as well. It's just, that's a hypothetical though. He comes with his little shuriken, same as the 89. He comes with his little back grapple, which does come apart. Just in case you want the playability of that. I'm pretty sure most of these are exact retools from the 89, so it must have been very, very nice for Hot Toys. He comes with his Batmobile remote that he doesn't use in the movie because he doesn't use the Batmobile, so that's a worthless accessory. Batarang. He's got Batarang with a rope. We do have some actual movie gadgets, like the explosive that he uses to launch the elevator up. Not really much to it. He does have, which magnetizes to his arm right here, this little doodad that says level 11. Let's see if I can get that to focus. See level 11. That's oh so fun. He's got his little hacking pad in case you wanted him to be hacking with his little Nokia hacking pad. Always fun, always a great gizmo doodad. It does not close and it has no playability, so that's always fun. He's got this little gizmo to get his mouth plates out, I believe. There's no other use for it. And then he's got this thing. Pretty sure the 89 Batman also had this thing, and I do not remember what it does. Using my immense brain power, I'm processing. Oh, my brain is so big it hurts. I don't believe there is anything else. So, without further, we can now look at Batman. So here is the big black bat. And there goes the big black bat. Let's stand him back up. So, this will actually go over my first point of contention. The points here are really, really soft pieces, so they'll just bend at the slightest of pushes, which makes it look stupid. The 89 cal has these thicker bits, so they don't... Wow, you are dusty already. They don't bend nearly as much. They'll bend, but they don't bend as much because they're thicker. This guy has much thinner points to the top of his bat ears. So it really, you just got to be careful with these because they will just start warping if you're not. Other than that, the cowl is a fun one. It is just all a solid piece, so he has absolutely no articulation. He can't even look up because it's locked underneath here. I like the way they lock it in, where it has this little piece where you have to lock it underneath. But, like, it now stops him from looking up at all. So, key and lean. But we'll go over that a little later on when we have zero articulation. And Michael Keaton asked for that, don't you forget. Michael Keaton is the one who asked to limit his articulation completely. But the cowl is nice. I like his old man faceplate. But again, with that slight little smirk to it, I think it's fun. Also has posable eyeballs, so you could mess with that. You can see there's a nice black around the eyes. So you don't have to worry about that skin, that disgusting skin. It just looks like evil shadow. So it looks great. I think it looks really good to what it should be looking like, which is modern suit Batman. When we get down here, it's a little less ideal. I love the yellow logo. I think it looks great. I love that Batman background yellow logo. It's always been my favorite. But everything just kind of loses its texture and charm. And I'm not saying like, oh, I love the avocado look of the Keaton Batman. But like that Batman didn't have shoulder pads, you know? He just had straight rock hard abs. This guy's got shoulder pads, and he's got like the illusion of the abs, but it's all just texture lines, so it looks really odd because nothing really sits there. Nothing's really built into it. It's just all kind of there, but only because it's lined there. It's not like built around it, like the Dark Knight suit. It's got the ab thing, but it's more like armor that built to look abby. I don't know. There's just something about it that's off to me. I don't hate it, like I said. It's just a little weird compared to how I'm used to with like a Keaton Batman, because everything feels like this one. It's like an like the undersuit when he's taking his suit off and he's throwing it off to the side. This is what it feels like. He's just sitting there with like just the gobbled on. Also, he's lost his yellow belt. So he only has that one little splash of yellow on the whole suit, which takes away from the breakups. Because, I mean, the other suits had yellow belts. It helped a lot, which is that little bit of color breakup. This does have some silver on it, which helps a bit, but it is a black belt at the end of the day. So it is sucking all that color in, which is a real shame, because I think the belt should always be a different color than the Batman. Even the Dark Knight has that weird like bronze kind of thing going on. It's not quite yellow, but it's still a different color. There needs to be more breakup in color. It can't be all black, or else it just doesn't look as good as it could. But at least, like I said, it's got that silver bit to break it up. So it's not the worst thing in the world. But it's not my favorite thing either. And then continuing on here, this like the crotch piece right here goes to show, again, my problem with the suit, where it's just got like this, it bunches up here and it looks weird, almost like he's wearing like joggers or like pants that he shouldn't be wearing. I don't know, it just feels weird. And then we got like this textured indent here out of nowhere. Like there's no reason for it other than they just wanted to add texture lines. The gauntlets look cool. I like the armory pattern of the gauntlets here with the spiky bits on the back. That looks nice. I like the way that goes. And on the inside, it's got like the whatnots. Yeah, the whatnots. We have that same kind of armor pattern here at the shins, which looks nice. And it leads down to a nice split cut boot, so we do have a bit of freedom. But all in all, I mean, we have a guy who isn't quite sure of himself, and isn't quite sure if he wants to devote himself and dedicate himself to that classic look, or if he wants to redefine and be something more, and be a little darker and epicer, you know? Anyway, enough talking about this guy. Why don't we bring out the original guy, and we'll talk about them side by side. So this is going to be one of those up and down comparisons, because we really want to take some time to look at these. Starting with the cowls here, the shape is a lot different. Obviously, we know the cowl changes in Batman Returns. It fits a little better. It's a little more, I don't know how to say it. It just looks better in Batman Returns. So there is a natural progression to things. When I have the returns, I'll bring all these guys back out, and we'll do a little bit more of a deep dive into that. But the one thing I will say about these two is there is a difference in color on the yellows on them, and I think the yellow on this one is a lot better than the yellow on this one. This one's like a brighter yellow. I like this darker, almost gold yellow. I think it stands out a bit more compared to the brighter yellow here, like a lemony yellow. So that's definitely a plus. But like, these guys are so drastically different, and granted, one is a lot older than, you know, the original here. But there's a lot of differences between the two. I can start off by saying both of their capes suck. Hot Toys sucks at capes. I don't know what it is. Moon Knight has like the only good cape. So I've bought capes for both of these guys. So hopefully that'll at least improve both of these guys in a small way. Because the cape, or the weird wire, loose wire cape in these things really hurt them more than they help them. It's either dedicate to a drape cape or put a strong wire in there. I don't want some like middle ground that just doesn't work. But you can see here, it's a lot bigger. He looks a lot beefier. He's got a defined shape to him. This is more person shaped. This one's kind of got like a thicker more rigid shape. It's got the musculature kind of built into it, as opposed to this one, which just, like I said, it's texture lines. It's just kind of there. It could not be there at all, and it wouldn't change the suit at all. This would still just be the same, just without the lines. Like this is built, it's built around that, because again, he's got this big, scary kind of stature to him. You know, the bigger arms, the cape that would usually drape around him to make like a shadow to scare criminals. I think it's a really good concept. Again, I just wish the yellow was a little darker now that I'm looking at both of them together. The yellow belt just helps break that up just that little bit more. His is raised up a little bit for some reason. I'll fix that at some point. But it's just, you can see the yellow helps break up that color a little bit more compared to the silver here, which just kind of looks more generic and plain. And then going down, it's not much to talk about. I mean, it's just legs, but you can just see like the material here versus the material here, how they look weird and different. They both have knee pads, and the shin armor is pretty similar. The boots are almost similar as well, but not quite. But they're similar enough. So the bottom half is pretty similar. It's just the top half kind of feels like a progression from more returns than the 89 suit, but I don't have the return suit to talk about. I do wish that Hot Toys would have made the other Batman suits, because I would have picked up probably 4 out of them, because I liked the way they looked. I don't remember how many there were, if there was 6 or however many, but I think I would have picked those up. Anyway, let's bring out the rest of the crew from the Flash that I have that's not the Flash. It's a real shame that the two Batman... It's a real shame that the two Batman never got to interact in the movie. I think that would have been a fun thing to see. And I'm just now thinking about it. This Batman barely interacted with anybody in this movie. These two, obviously. This guy he doesn't even know these two exist. So he really just non-existent. Just a plot driving device. He didn't even drive the plot. He just kind of was a thing. This guy existed, but for no reason. I'm trying to think if any of these characters truly drove the plot. Batman brought the plot to them, but he didn't really drive the plot. He was kind of like there. She kind of as well, but not really. What was the plot? Who was the bad guy, really? Who was this movie for? Anyway, I really like the way these three look. I really love this Supergirl figure. I do wish, like I've said in my video for Supergirl, it had rooted hair. I think rooted hair would make that awesome. I saw somebody who had theirs rooted, and I think it looks fantastic. And if I could ever get around to finding somebody to root the hair for me, I definitely will. I like this Batman. He's goofy. He's bigger. But he's silly. He kind of reminds me of like a Gears of War character. It's just something about him. Like a Gears of War, a Halo character. He speaks to me. Honestly, this would be the body right here. If you're building a custom like Master Chief, this right here is the body to use. Like the Justice League or BVS Batman, like the new BVS Batman, I would have used that for a Master Chief. And then this guy, who is my special boy. He's my special Batman who speaks. He speaks to me. He's very special to me. And they all make me very happy. But now we have to get to articulation, which also makes me very happy. I can tell you right now, this is going to be a very, very disappointing and short articulation section. So, none of that on either front, which we all knew. There is some crunch action, so you can kind of get an up look, but arm goes up that far. Arm goes up that far. Arm goes back that far. You get a good bend at the elbow. That's your spread. Leg goes up that far if you push it. Leg doesn't go back at all. I would not attempt that. And you get a good knee bend if the cape's out of the way. And ankle articulation. There is the piece on the foot there, which prevents from too much forward, but you get it enough either way where Batman can stand there and look cool with his cape flowing. So whether you're a fan of The Flash, or you're a fan of Michael Keaton and just want to collect every Michael Keaton figure you can, or you're a fan of collecting old man characters of characters that you love because you just prefer them as old men for some reason and you're creepy and weird like that, this Batman is sleepy. Pausing real quick so I can fix him. So like I was saying, or you're a crazed fan of characters that happen to be old men now and you just like them and prefer them as old men, this is a great Batman option for you. Unless, you know, you're a hater and you hate Batman and you hate Michael Keaton and you hate The Flash and you hate old men, then I wouldn't suggest this. If you hate all of those three of those things, then I wouldn't suggest it. But this guy's going to look great with a Keaton collection. If you put him with Returns and you put him with the 89, I think it'll look really nice. You could even probably try to pop, at least try to fake in, pop the empty sculpt on there and maybe just have it as an empty suit in the back. That might not look too bad either. I wish the dog would not choose to try to come into the room when I'm finally comfortable after just leaving the room. Okay, now that the dog is back in the room and sniffing all the figures, I'm pretty happy with this guy. I may not have been happy with exactly what they did with him in the movie. I would have preferred the long-haired, crazy old man look. I think that would have been a fun look to have. You know, just whatever. The robe and the crazy old man hair and yada yada. But, you know, it's a good suit overall. It's not a great suit. It's not the return suit, because the return suit is a great suit. But it's a good suit. And it'll sit nicely with the other Batman. You know, if you want to put it with your Flash stuff, you could do that. If you want to put it with your Keaton stuff, you could do that. I'm probably going to park this guy right in front of the Batmobile and pretend like he drove it in the movie. I think he was going to drive it in the Batgirl movie before that got put in the can and hit recycled. Apologies for the cough. But yes, definitely would recommend it. If you hit those stipulations that I had said previously, I won't recommend it if you don't. I'm indifferent. I'm not indifferent. I do like this guy. And again, I'll take anything Keaton Batman, really. You could give me a melted pile of Keaton Batman suit, and I'd probably buy it, because I just like Keaton Batman a lot. So this guy, you know, he spoke to me. I could use the head sculpt for Adrian Toomes. I can use the bat suit to build up my Keaton bat suit armada. You know, I've got a lot of options and possibilities out of this. So I'm pretty content overall. And, as always, if you enjoyed the video, please feel free to like and subscribe, because I'm desperate. I'm desperate for you to like and subscribe, but I need your help. Please like and subscribe. I don't know what I'll do without you. Yeah, so if you enjoyed the video, please feel free to like and subscribe, because that would be awesome. And with all of that out of the way, I've been me, and you've been you, and thank you for watching another 6-scale figure review. Hopefully you join me next time when we review something maybe new. I will see you then.